Bitcoin with Dinny. Dinny here. Going to talk to you a little bit about Bitcoin crashing and why anyone who's been down the Bitcoin rabbit hole is totally unaffected when Bitcoin crashes. Anyone who's served their apprenticeship in Bitcoin doesn't mind when Bitcoin crashes. It's relevant. And we have a great day either way. When Bitcoin goes up, we have a great day. And when Bitcoin goes down, we have a great day. That's what I'm going to chat to you a little bit about now. If that sounds good, hit the like button. Mara's in the back and she's a little bit cranky, so hopefully she'll settle down there for us. I suppose when I call it the apprenticeship, because it's like when you're trying to become, a master of your trade, an electrician, a plumber. I served my time as a metal fabricator and a motor mechanic, believe it or not, 2 apprenticeships, motorcycles. But for the first 4 years, it's just tough because the pay is terrible. And well, back in my day, you were treated fairly terrible. I don't think you're allowed to beat up the apprentices anymore, but we feared the mechanics and we feared the qualified lads sometimes. But was it bad? Absolutely not. I think it was fantastic. It was the sort of training we needed to give us a bit of cop on. But those first 4 years, the pay is terrible and the conditions aren't great. And after that, then you become qualified and it becomes easy. And I think the Bitcoin journey it's really similar to that, in that hopefully you understand the Bitcoin cycles and that Bitcoin works in a 4-year cycle, and that the issuance of new Bitcoin, there can only ever be 21 million. There's about 19.5 million in circulation. There's 450 mined per day at the moment. But every 4 years that supply cuts in half, and that's why Bitcoin is absolutely scarce, because after enough time, if we keep cutting in half, we get to zero, theoretically, for the hair splitters out there, the atom splitters. So by being in Bitcoin your first year, you could get lucky. You could have walked into Bitcoin a year ago and started picking up at 30k, and then it's ripped all the way up to 100k, and now it's pulled back to 80. It's been pretty much plain sailing. The crash doesn't really hurt you, but for most folks, the majority of us who come to Bitcoin, we come in a bull market, so we come when the price is ripping, so we're more likely to get into Bitcoin when it breaks 100k, because everyone's going to be talking about it then. All right, so it's much more likely when you begin your Bitcoin journey. It's like when you begin your journey as an apprentice, you have all these notions in your head. I remember when I started serving my time as a motor mechanic, I was like, right, I'm going to be driving all these lovely cars, I'm going to be fixing all these cars, it's going to be cool, I'm going to be out cruising. And then I went to my first day at work, and I'm going around with a notepad or a piece of paper, taking the order for the shop of the 35 people who worked in the place. And like half my day is basically getting them their food. It wasn't as romantic as I was thinking. I'm there thinking I'm going to be building gearboxes, but that's the journey. Unfortunately, sometimes it's not as you think it's going to be. But is it worth it in the end? Absolutely. Is it worth serving your time as an apprenticeship and going through those rough times? Absolutely. Is it worth serving your time in Bitcoin and going through those 4 years? Absolutely. Because once you've been in Bitcoin for 4 years, there's not a single person on the planet, of all the people who have been into Bitcoin, been into crypto, been into property, been into stocks, and ignored it all, there's not a single person on percentage financial returns has done better than a person who simply went about their business and every month dollar cost averaged into Bitcoin. There's not a single person on the planet, whether they're a professional investor, a money manager, a financial advisor, a banker, an investment banker, none of them on a percentage returns basis have had a better return than a plumber or a motor mechanic, a nurse, a doctor, a policeman, who just dollar cost averaged into Bitcoin and every month bought a bit more Bitcoin. And that's just the numbers. That's just how Bitcoin works. That's how absolute scarcity works. When you have something that's absolutely scarce and its rivals are scarce but not absolutely scarce, of course it's going to outperform. It's to me, it's common sense, but everyone has to do their own work and come up with their own conclusion. And if you come up with the conclusion that I've come up with, and many Bitcoiners have come up with, and many billionaires have come up with. You too will say, well, that's just common sense. Why would it? Why wouldn't it outperform everything? Of course it's going to outperform everything. So what this allows is, once you understand Bitcoin, you've used Bitcoin, now you don't even have to use it for 4 years. You just have to learn fast. We have people in Retire Early Club who understand Bitcoin better than people who've been here since 2017. We have people here since 2017 in Retire Early Club as well. Some of them still make mistakes, okay? But once you understand that, you have peace of mind. On a day like today, you have a super day. Whereas people who don't understand it, don't understand how to build their portfolio correctly, they go through pain on days like this, because Bitcoin crashed the day before yesterday, and then yesterday it crashed a bit more, and then today it crashed even more, so the whole market bled out. So if you're reliant on the short-term price, you're having a terrible time, you're getting wrecked. And this is why everything that I try and communicate to my people, yourself included, is to zoom out. Okay, you have a generational opportunity with Bitcoin. And the beauty of Bitcoin is, I'm going to get a bit philosophical here. When you understand Bitcoin, when you go deep down the rabbit hole, you know, and you've read all the classic Bitcoin books, and you learn the difference, you know, between Austrian economics and Keynesian economics, and you see the world as it is, and you realize it's just a consequence of the actions that are being taken, and we as an individual can take a different action. We don't have to follow the narrative. And things become beautiful then. And we can detach ourselves from the liability of going along with that clown world. Because we understand money, we understand incentives, and we understand why it's trended this way and where it's going in the future. And we also see that there's a different beautiful system which incentivizes saving. It incentivizes deferring gratification. And that is the bedrock of human success. Okay? It's to be able to save, to be able to defer gratification, to be able to think of the future and work for a better future, rather than just making ourselves infinitely happy in the present, because that never works, because the obstacle is the way. A great book. But the struggle is where the fulfillment comes from. Okay, and this is how Bitcoin changes you, because it allows you to see. It allows you to understand deferred gratification. It allows you to protect your future. So therefore, you must protect your present as well. Because if you know your future is secure, if you know your future is bright, you must protect the present. And then you don't get distracted by all the crypto Lambos, parties, yachts, bullshit. If you want to find the most unhappy people on the planet, find the influencers with the amazing looking lifestyle that everyone wants to be. All right? I worked in the fitness game. I talked behind the scenes to these people. They're miserable, no matter what they look like. All right? And the irony of the absolute world is, again, this is the difference between proof of work and the virtual world. This is the difference between crypto and Bitcoin when you really go down the rabbit hole. Okay? The difference is, people can portray it being amazing, and then all the other people want to be like them. But really, if they were like them, they realize they're absolutely miserable, and what they have is much better. And that's the beauty of Bitcoin. You learn gratitude. You learn what real happiness is. Real happiness is like today, driving along, looking out this window, and it's absolutely blue sky. It's beautiful. I can feel a bit of sun. And the reason why I appreciate that is because we had shit weather there for ages. And now look at it, it's so good. And it's so nice, and I'm looking forward to such a good day. And I don't need anything. I've got my little puppy in the back. We're going to go do a bit of training. I've actually go to the office to do a bit of work, actually. I have a meeting. But then I'm going swimming. You know, the best things in life are free. And it's only when we lose them that we realise that. But Bitcoin helps you realise that in the present, so you appreciate them right now. And that's very far-fetched for people who are just struggling for money and just want Bitcoin to fix it. But I promise you, I was lucky in that when I was in my 20s, I hired a business coach. And he didn't coach me on sales. He didn't coach me on marketing. Okay? He didn't coach me on graphic design and making fancy ads. The bedrock of the coaching was on personal development. To understand that everything in the outside world is a consequence of my inside world. And if my business is doing crap and I'm poor and I'm struggling and I live in a caravan, the only way to change that is internally, if I can change myself. So he taught me personal development. He taught me that how I think will create the world I will live in the future. And if I can change my thinking, I can change my world. And I was really fortunate that I came across that. And many people I know will never come across this sort of material and education in their life, and they'll just go on thinking the world's against them and there's nothing they can do, and life's hard, and of course, what do you think's going to happen? The world will be against them, life will be hard, and there will be nothing they can do. And that's why I encourage people, go down the Bitcoin rabbit hole, go down the philosophy of Bitcoin, because it links beautifully into personal development, it links beautifully into taking responsibility, it links beautifully into living in the present, and therefore every day is a good day. Whether Bitcoin goes up, it's a good day, and if Bitcoin goes down, it's a good day. Yes, financially, if you're in Bitcoin for 4 years or more, it doesn't matter how much it goes down, because there's not a single person on the planet who's bought Bitcoin and lost money over a 4-year period. So it doesn't matter how much it goes down today. If you're in Bitcoin for longer than 4 years, it'll never go down lower than you bought it for. And if you dollar cost average, hey presto, it doesn't even matter, because you didn't just buy it once, you bought it every month. So now your average price is way lower than any crash that you'll ever suffer in a 4-year period. None of this is financial advice, just my thoughts, just my opinion, just to try and help people through the price action on Bitcoin and help you understand that Bitcoin's a journey. It's not easy. It's not about coming in the bull market, getting rich and buying a Lamborghini like people think it is. Crypto will wreck you. A lot of people understand that. They're going through that pain today. But dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin and setting yourself with a 10-year plan, I believe is the most easy way anyone can do to financial freedom. And if it doesn't take you 10 years, well, no one's going to be pissed off at that. Guys, hope you have a super day. Thanks for being here. Try and share the video, get the content out there to all the altcoin geniuses who are looking for their X's and now they're just deep down in deep red. Hopefully they'll start to study Bitcoin. Hopefully they'll do the work. You know, most of us in Bitcoin, we've done at least 200 hours to 2,000 hours of study. And that's why we make the decisions we make, because everything is binary. It's either yes or no. Life, people think it becomes complex, but it's not. It's just binary decisions, yeses or nos. And it can take you 2,000 hours of study to say yes instead of no with Bitcoin. And hey presto, that changes your life. Anyway, have a super day. Hope you enjoy the sun. Thanks for being here. And don't worry, brighter days are ahead. In my lifetime in Bitcoin, which isn't that long, just over my apprenticeship. But in my lifetime in it, I've never seen a more bullish time. There's never been such good news. And the thing's on sale. Holy hell, if I was starting my journey, I know what I do. I'd be as aggressive as I could. That's what I do. Not financial advice. You do you. And let's have a super day. Dinny out for now.